Okay, today we're going to talk about goal beyond the goal. I think every mom in the world needs to have a goal, beyond her children and what's in, like, you know how we all have our kids in our A circle? I was just talking to mom and she's like, I just want my kids to be healthy and happy and I think I'm messing them up. I'm like, well, we are. Like, we're all messing up our kids. That's how it works. But I think what's really valuable is, as a mom, to have a goal, beyond what you want for your kids. You have to have your own goal beyond the goal. Meaning, if I have a gymnast and I want her to, be a D1 gymnast because that's what she wants, that's a great goal for me. But my goal beyond that is to help her come out of it healthy, come out of it where she can use the resources beyond the sport in her life. I don't really care about gymnastics. I want her to achieve her goals, but I don't need to be in her A circle micromanaging everything that she does to get there. So, because then when she broke her back, I would have went crazy, right? Like, what do you do about that? It's not my job to be in her A circle to fix everything for her. It's my job to be in her B circle so I can support her, but I need a goal beyond that so I can have some space between me and what's going on for her. Does that make sense? Goal beyond the goal is a strategy I created. I'm the owner of So Connected. I work with 30 athletes a week on the average, and I've been doing this for 15 years. And now I want you to live your best life, and so I'm sharing what I learned from your athletes and my clients with you so you can use it. So goal beyond the goal. So think of what you want 3 years down the road. When I was working with Olivia, she was recruited as a sophomore. Back then they recruited really early. So it was the day after nationals, her sophomore year of JO. She was level 10, second year level 10. And the day after nationals, we went to Ball State University, and the coach was still in Indiana, and so she wasn't there, and she called us and FaceTimed us, and she offered my daughter a full ride scholarship. And I get in the car and I'm bawling. I'm like, oh my God. And she goes, Mom, why are you crying? My daughter. And I go, well, Olivia, you just got a full ride offer. And she goes, didn't you know I was going to get one? And I go, well, I didn't know it was going to happen today. And she said, Mom, when I got on that beam last night, the night before was the competition, nationals. She goes, when I got on that beam last night, I knew I could do it. And when I heard my teammates cheering for me, I knew that I was going to get an offer. And when I did my series and nailed it, I knew when I was going to nail my dismount that I was going to get an offer. And I thought, holy shit, like, goal beyond the goal works. Because trust me, before that beam routine, I was like, oh my God, if she falls, she probably won't get an offer. She was kind of middle of the road, D1. We were looking in the 30s. A lot of her teammates were top 10 D1, and she wasn't. She was in the 30s. But I knew that if she made it, I knew she might get an offer. And so I was nervous, and you guys know what I do for a living. I was like, oh my God. But she nailed it. And then a few years later, I learned the lesson even better. A few years later, she was a senior and she broke her back. So she had an offer for 2 years. As a senior, in August of her senior year in high school, she had a broken back. She had an L5 fracture. And the day before the signing in November, so she had a broken back August, September, coming back now, starting in November. And her coaches called me the day before the signing, and they took it back. They took the scholarship back. And I was upset because I'm like, well, now what does she do? She's a senior. You can't go get a new scholarship. And, I talked to her coaches, and they were like, the best bet is for her to get her skills back. And they said when she gets her skills back, they'll give it back to her. I'm like, okay. So I said to my daughter, I said, Olivia, how do you feel about that? And she said, well, of course I'm going to get my skills back. I'm competing in college. Okay, so her goal beyond the goal was, I didn't know it at the time, but it wasn't only just to compete in college. She wanted to be the best freshman that Ball State had ever had. Okay, so that was her goal beyond the goal. And her job never changed, right? That's her goal beyond the goal. So that didn't affect her in a negative way. I mean, I'm sure it was annoying for her to know that they took it back, but her job didn't change. And so all those bumps in the road that you have, if you have a goal beyond the goal beyond that, it doesn't affect you negatively. If your athletes are stagnant, if they're unmotivated, they need a goal beyond the goal. And you can't give them a goal. You got to let them have their own goal. Like, you can't jump in their A circle and go, I think you need to have a goal in college to be blah, 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 doctor. No, you can't do that. Then it's your goal. You're in their A circle, and then that's not helpful, right? Have a goal beyond the goal for yourself. My goal beyond the goal, it was really hard when Olivia was done with gymnastics because my entire business revolved around her schedule and her life. And I thought, I have to have a goal beyond the goal. And I'll never forget her last meet. I had already moved on from her sport. I was ready to dig my heels in. I was going to go out into the country again and meet with people one-on-one and go to teams and gymnastics clubs and baseball clubs and, you know, just kind of do my old thing that I used to do before COVID. And then she comes up to me after her meet and she goes, Mom, don't you want a picture? Like, I remember going, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Libby. Yeah. And so I had to kind of jump back in because it was so emotional. And I was having such a hard time with her ending and how I contributed, you know, to my life with her schedule. But I had to have a goal beyond the goal to keep me going and also to support her. But more importantly, to teach her how to do that for herself. Okay? You know, it's so important for us to have a goal beyond the goal because then we're teaching our children to do that for themselves. And I think that's what we want. Well, hopefully. If you find this video helpful, share it, please. Subscribe. I would love to have you. And then ask me questions. What do you need? How can I support you? I'm going to do sessions on here with people. If you have an athlete who wants to do a session, it's great because I'm not advising, but I'm giving them tools and strategies to be their best. Use goal beyond the goal for yourself and then let me know how it goes. Have a good day.